Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, October 16th, 2020. And we begin with what could be a return visit from that mystery Jetpacker near LAX. Just 6 weeks after the first sighting, a China Airlines pilot radioed the tower Wednesday to say he'd spotted the guy buzzing around at 6,000 feet. Like last time, the FAA is on the case, as is the FBI and the Los Angeles Police Department. Twitter also lit up with the news, but at this point, no one is sure if it's the same person, a copycat daredevil, or even a jetpack at all. Some experts suspect it's more likely a sophisticated drone. Pilots, however, are standing by their colleagues in the cockpit, saying the profiles of a drone and a dude with rockets on his back are totally different and not easily confused. One of the nation's top doctors is asking Americans to rethink Thanksgiving. Because coronavirus cases are surging in 37 states, Dr. Anthony Fauci told CBS News that we may all have to bite the bullet and sacrifice the social gathering. He's especially concerned that those traveling to see extended family might drag germs along with them. For Dr. Fauci, the issue is both professional and personal. He's 79 and at high risk because of his age. And while his 3 out-of-state daughters want to join him for the holiday, each has chosen to stay home. Every family situation is different, however, and the doctor said the 2 most important things to consider when making a Thanksgiving decision are whether you're headed to or from a hotspot and whether the people you're visiting are vulnerable. It's now out of her hands. Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett is all done testifying and can take a breather until next Thursday. That's when the Judiciary Committee will take a vote on whether to move her nomination forward. If approved, her future heads to the full Senate, which is in charge of deciding who ends up on the high court and who doesn't. Right now, the timing puts the historic vote sometime during the week of October 26, which would set a record for closest confirmation to an election. Still, it would not set a record for quickest. That distinction goes to Justice John Paul Stevens, who was confirmed in 1975 in just 19 days. You know you've nailed your Halloween decorations when people call 911 on your behalf. A holiday-loving couple in Los Angeles apparently tripped up their neighbors by tricking out their home with a Pirates of the Caribbean theme, complete with skeletons, pirate cannons, and a big scene stealer, fake fire. Silk cloth, red and orange lights, and a fan created the surprisingly realistic look and the resulting chaos. The fire department has fielded multiple calls from passers-by, thinking the home is burning down. So far, the Long family has not been asked to take down the decorations, but they are checking in with local firefighters every weekend to make sure it's not too much of a nuisance. Want to communicate with your cat? The answer might be in your eyes. Researchers from the UK say they found evidence that you and your fickle feline can bond by blinking. Their experiment had 2 parts. One involved owners staring at their own cats while blinking slowly. More often than not, the cats narrowed their eyes in response. Scientists call it the cat version of smiling. The second part was to see if the slow blinking worked between strangers. This time, the researchers narrowed their eyes while looking at cats they did not know. Not only did that group of cats also smile back, but those kittens were also more likely to approach a slow blinker than someone with a neutral face. The study is in the journal Nature. That's it for KidNuz. A quick note, it really helps if you rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to tell your friends to listen as well. Now, our KidNuz quiz. What has another pilot reported seeing on approach to Los Angeles International Airport? A jetpacker flying at 6,000 feet. Which holiday does Dr. Anthony Fauci want us to rethink? Thanksgiving. What body of government has the final say on potential Supreme Court justices? The U.S. Senate. According to researchers, what's worth a try if you want to communicate with a cat? blinking slowly while looking at them. In One for the Road, proof that some of us are so travel-starved, even airline food is appealing. This week, Singapore Air opened 2 of its A380 jumbo jets for lunch reservations. Even though the planes don't leave the tarmac, all available seats sold out within 30 minutes. A380s normally fit up to 471 people, but in this case, only half will be open to diners. Passengers who couldn't get a ticket but are still hankering for plane fare can have Singapore's first class and business class meals delivered to their doorstep. Aviation buffs can also book a behind-the-scenes tour of the airline's training facilities, complete with activities for kids, starting next month. Before we go, it's time to turn it over to Kim for today's Kid News shoutouts.
Thanks, Tori. This morning we say hello to Mrs. Hiscock and her students at Elizabeth Park in Newfoundland, Canada, and Mrs. Jeffrey's class at Summer Elementary in Crawfordsville, Indiana. And we send birthday greetings to Emery in Olathe, Kansas, Ruby in Lambertville, Michigan, Mason in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, Carter in Gloucester City, New Jersey, Huck in Ayer, Massachusetts, Lloyd in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Easton in Bel Air, Maryland, Jack in Paulsbo, Virginia, Sarah in Canada, Ontario, Trinity in Jerseyville, Illinois, Lucia and Nicholas in Seattle, Washington, Dillion Clark in Columbus, Ohio, and to California for Adriano in West Sacramento, Mia in Poway, Jaden in Los Altos, Ravi in Mission Viejo, and Carter in Burbank. Texas for Clara in Houston, Charlotte in Kingwood, Natalie in Dallas, and to Indiana for Hudson in Franklin and Jordan in Seymour. Thanks for listening, everyone. Remember to take our Week in Review quiz, and we'll see you back here for more Kid News Monday morning.